Guys, how we all doing? My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play by Play with JJ. Hope you're all having yourselves a great afternoon. Well, I slept really well last night, and not just because I actually ended up getting some good sleep, physically, but mentally. The Phillies, well, they calmed me down. They really did, man. They won 6-5. They did a really good job. They came back in the ball game, and now we just gotta hope and wait and see if they can take this one. If they can take this one today and win the series. Alrighty. So for the Phillies today, as they wrap up this three-game series against the Seattle Mariners, Mariners that were able to take Game 1 by a score of 5-3, and then the Phillies won yesterday, or last night, I should say, by a score of 6-5. Can they try to win the series finale today, this afternoon? Well, the one thing is that they do have Matt Strahm on the bump, but he's going to have to go up against George Kirby, and Kirby is a guy that doesn't necessarily walk a whole lot of batters. He doesn't really strike out a whole lot of batters, though, either. Basically what he does is he's a very good ground ball pitcher, and hopefully the Phillies hitters hopefully the Phillies hitters can try to just be on balance with their timing and not necessarily chase after bad pitches. Castellanos has to continue to provide a hot bat when he's going the opposite way, and he has the power that is very dangerous because that is the Nick Castellanos that we are accustomed to from seeing him in Detroit, Chicago, and Cincinnati. So the fact that he's been going opposite field more, he's also utilizing the left field side as well. Those are all really good signs. And hopefully he and some of the other guys like Brandon Marsh and Bryson Stott can just continue to have a hot bat. And, as Castellanos is on a 7-game hitting streak himself. And the other thing that I wanted to also mention, too, is we have, obviously, Matt Strahm going up against George Kirby. Strahm has a very good ERA. He has a 3 ERA this season, even though he hasn't had the best couple of outings, but he's been a very reliable pitcher, and Rob Thompson referred to him as a Swiss Army knife, in quotes. Somebody that can go 3 innings, 4 innings or so, and so hopefully he's able to go pretty deep. But like once Ranger Suarez comes back, just imagine the amount of depth that they're going to be able to have with him coming out of the bullpen, or if he has to start and go 5 or 6 innings, he could certainly do that too. Alrighty, so what else was I gonna say? All right, let's get into the starting lineup, shall we? So for the Seattle Mariners, we got Julio Rodriguez starting things off. He's playing out in center field. Ty France batting second, over at first base. Eugenio Suarez batting third, over at third. Teoscar Hernandez hits fourth, and he's the DH in today's game. A.J. Pollock is out in left field today. He was the DH last night, but he's playing out in left field today. Jared Kelenic slides down all the way to 6, and he's out in right field. Then we have Murphy over behind the plate, Tom Murphy, that is. Jose Caballero is the second baseman, and J.P. Crawford rounds things up, batting ninth. So once again, it's Rodriguez, France, Suarez, Hernandez, Pollock, Kelenic, Murphy, Caballero, and Crawford. That is for the Seattle Mariners. And they're going to have to face a guy in Matt Strahm. Strahm has played for the Padres for a couple of years, and he's been one of the biggest lefty additions in all of baseball during free agency. I think that the other thing that you kind of have to hope for out of Matt Strahm today is that even though the bullpen was sensational yesterday, you got to eat up some innings, and you can't make sure that you're allowing base runners to get on, So keep the ball down and keep the ball away from the lefties. If you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon too so that way you know when I upload. And, I appreciate it. We go on for not just Phillies games, but we do Sixers games as well. We'll be back on Monday night, as they will most likely face the Boston Celtics. We'll be able to see who, we might be able to see who their opponent's going to be, if it's going to be Boston for sure tonight. depending on what happens in the game. So, have to just wait and see. I'm going to take a very, very quick step off, but I will be right back in literally just 1 minute. All right? Stay tuned. Alrighty, here we go. Alright, so we were just underway as the first pitch was inside and low for a ball. So Julio Rodriguez is the first man up. The 1-0 pitch that's taken right at the knees for a called strike. So Matt Strahm has gone 18 innings this season. He has allowed 6 earned runs. He has a 13.5 strikeout rate through 9 innings. The 1-1 pitch. It's taken at the knees for a called strike. It is a pretty cloudy day at the bank. 1-2 pitch, just a little bit inside, according to Andy Fletcher, who's behind the plate today. I don't know if we have a school trip out there that's in right field, but there's a big crowd over there. Big crowd, it looks like, of teenagers. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Strahm gets Julio Rodriguez retired. That's actually the 5th time that he has struck out in his last 6 at-bats. And there's 1 away to start off the top of the first. So Rodriguez goes down, and Ty France comes up. So once again, the lineups, it's Julio Rodriguez out in center field, Ty France over at first, Eugenio Suarez over at third, Teoscar Hernandez hits 4th, he's the DH, A.J. Pollock is batting 5th, he's out in left field today. And over in right field is Jared Kelenic. Tom Murphy is behind the plate as he takes over for Cal Raleigh. Raleigh has a day off today. And Jose Caballero is hitting 8th. He's over at second base. And J.P. Crawford batting 9th over at shortstop. Ty France is up. It's 1 ball, no strikes in the pitch. Grounded foul towards the third base bag. Matt Strahm is 31 years old, stands at 6'2", and he has a 2.61 ERA at home. The 1-1, way up high for ball 2. As far as the Phillies' defensive alignment, so Garrett Stubbs is behind the plate today. It's not JT, as he is the afternoon off. And over at first base is Cody Clemens, as Bone is DHing today. The 2-1, that's fouled back towards the screen. So Clemens over at first, over at second base is Stott, third base is Sosa, and shortstop is Turner. Get to the outfield defensive alignment, or the defensive depth chart in just a few seconds. The 2-2. Foul back towards the first base side. That goes out of play. Over in left field for the Phillies is Kyle Schwarber. Out in center field is Brandon Marsh. And over in right field is Castellanos. I wrote 2 DHs for today for the Phillies. 2-2 pitch that's slapped foul towards the first base side. Strahm only has 7 walks and 27 strikeouts in 18 innings. He has really done a very good job at locating not just the fastball, but the slider as well. There was a slider that was delivered on the foul ball, and it almost got France fooled. 5 seconds on the pitch clock. It's a 2-2 count, and the pitch. Foul back once again. Let's update the scoreboard. Nail is here. Usually when we do afternoon games, it's usually been, for the most part, it's been on Sundays. 2-2 pitch by Strahm. Swing and a miss. And France goes fishing after a fastball. That was up and high. 2 away in the top of the first. Two up, 2 down to start off the top of the first inning. Eugenio Suarez will step up into the batter's box, and Suarez has been he's batting .272 on the season with 2 homers and 15 RBI. The slugging percentage was a little bit more up, but it's a little bit down over the last couple of weeks. And the first pitch, he skies that one over towards the right field line. Clemens is in foul territory and can't communicate with Castellanos, and it just drops, and it's just a dead ball. So Clemens tried to make the catch, as he did call off Nick Castellanos, and thankfully they didn't collide with one another. Castellanos had to try to get out of the way. 14 pitches in this first inning so far. How about the Phillies in their throwback uniforms? Their blue pinstripes with the red, the dark maroon, long sleeves. The 0-1. It's fouled back over into the seats by the first base dugout. Suarez spent a lot of time with the Cincinnati Reds. They had a really good lineup for a couple of years. Between him and Moustakas and Jesse Winker and Nick Castellanos and Joey Votto and Jonathan India. The 0-2. Way up high for a ball. Phillies, after this afternoon's game, have to head over to Houston. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and Matt Strahm strikes out the side to start off the first inning. 1-2-3 go the Mariners, and the Phillies are coming up to bat in the bottom of the first. Nice. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Jason Joseph. This is Play by Play with JJ. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon too, so that way you know when I go live for a Phillies game or for a Sixers game as well. And if you enjoy my play-by-play commentary, just make sure that you subscribe. Goal is to get to 280 by the end of today. Started off this channel 4 months ago, and have been calling a lot of Sixers games and some Patriots games as well. We also do Flyers podcasts on here. And, tomorrow night, Phillies is on Apple TV. Yeah, it is on Apple TV, but you can tune in. You don't have to tune into the Apple TV broadcast. You can tune into my broadcast. That's what you guys can do. So you don't have to even listen to the commentators. Or you could have the game on and then have me as the audio background. It's up to you guys. I'm just saying. We had this nurse that was that was at my high school, and that was like her quote. She would make a point about something, like to a student, like if a student like injured his back or something, you could put ice on that. I'm just saying. Like, you don't have to come to me all the time. I'm just saying. So, but yeah, tomorrow night, yeah, they are on Apple TV. All right, let's get to the Phillies starting lineup before the inning starts. So Bryson Stott's leading things off. He's over at second base. Trey Turner batting second over at shortstop. Kyle Schwarber's DHing. He's playing out in left field. I have to change that. Nick Castellanos is playing over in right field. Brandon Marsh is out in center field. Alec Bohm is the DH this afternoon. Cody Clemens over at first base. Edmundo Sosa over at third. And batting ninth is Garrett Stubbs. George Kirby is on the bump for the Seattle Mariners, and the first pitch he throws to Bryson Stott is below the knees for a ball. Stott has 13 multi-hit games this season. The 1-0. It's lined foul down the third base line, and it'll find the seats. So George Kirby has pitched in 22 2/3 of an inning. He has a 2-1 record. This is his fifth start, a 3.57 ERA. And I told you that he doesn't really walk a lot of guys. He's only allowed one walk this season and has struck out 17 batters. The 1-1. It's fouled back towards the screen. That was funny. The 1-2 pitch. There's a line drive out to left field, but it's going back to the warning track, and making the catch is A.J. Pollock. Stott had a good piece of it, but just could not get enough on that swing. As far as the crew chief for today, we have Andy Fletcher behind home plate. Over at first base is Eric Backus. Laz Diaz is over at second base. He was over at third last night. And Ryan Wills is the third base umpire. Trey Turner comes up, and the first pitch he takes a look at is a curveball that looked like it was on the upper third part of the strike zone, but it was a little bit high in Andy Fletcher's eyes. The 1-0 pitch to Turner. Check swing. That was a strike regardless. Turner is batting .280 this season. The 1-1 pitch. There's a ground ball over to shortstop. Crawford fields it on the hop, throws over to first across the diamond, and plenty of time for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for the Phillies as we start off the bottom of the first. The Phillies coming into today, they have won 4 out of their last 6 games. They are 12-3 or 12-13 on the season, and they have a 7-5 home record. Meanwhile, the Seattle Mariners are 11-13. They haven't really played a whole lot on the road just yet, but they are 4-4 on the road so far. Kyle Schwarber steps into the batter's box, and the first pitch that he sees is a high fastball that was outside. Kirby has been doing a good job at locating that slider. There's one right there that was inside and low. The slider and the curveball have really been his pitches that he's been working on a lot. Those types of mechanics can be very lethal. 2-0. It's fouled back towards the third base dugout. So as I mentioned, the Phillies are in their throwback uniforms, have the old Phillies logo as the batting helmet. Meanwhile, the Mariners have their teal jerseys on. The 2-1. It's taken as a high strike, a slider at 85 miles per hour. Last night's weather was very rainy, and the Phillies were able to get a comeback win. Today it's just really cloudy. The 2-2 delivery, right at the knees, over the middle of the plate for a called strike 3. And that'll do it in the bottom of the first, but we go to the top of the second inning. 1-2-3 go the Phillies, and now the Mariners coming back up to bat. How many people we got on here? Nicholas, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming on here. I appreciate it. How long have you been a Seattle fan? I have to be sure that I ask you. It's cool that we get, like, a lot of different types of fans on here. You know, the one thing that I like to do is I'm the type of person that can be, like, very welcoming in a sense where, you know, when I'm calling games and stuff, I really try not to show any sort of, like, negative bias, if you will, from the team that I'm not calling games for. So if I do that, though, be sure that you give me a heads up, because that's not what my goal is. I've seen people on here like only just do stats for the home teams or for the for the team that they root for. I'm very old school in that sense where I don't do that. And if I want to go into broadcasting, obviously I can't do that. I can't. So. Let me log in over here. Ready, top of the second inning we go. The first pitch to Teoscar Hernandez is popped up behind the plate. Stubbs says he has it, doesn't even take the mask off, and I'll make the catch for the first out. Excuse me. It was a good pitch thrown by Matt Strom, too. It was a fastball that was right at the knees. A.J. Pollock will step into the batter's box. He has a 128 batting average on the season. And well, yesterday he went 0 for 4. First pitch. That's taken for a high strike. Scratch that. Yesterday he went 1 for 4 and scored a run, but on the first night, on April 25th, he went 0 for 4. The 0-1. That's taken right at the knees for a called strike. So he's 1 for 8 in the series as he calls time here. Pollock has certainly been around the block. He's 35 years old, from Hebron, Connecticut. The 0-2. Swing on a line drive that goes over to shortstop. Throw over to first is in plenty of time, though. As Turner played it on the hop, it was hit very sharply towards him. And there's 2 away. So that'll go down as a 6-3 put out. Now the next man up. Well, that's going to be Jared Kelenic, who had a 3-game home run streak, and that ended yesterday. First pitch to Kelenic. He slices that one foul down the third base line. And that will also find the seats. Kelenic is only 23 years old. He's from Waukesha, Wisconsin. The 0-1. Ground ball over to second base. Stottfield's on the hop. Throws over to first as he spins. And the throw is in plenty of time for the third and final out. Another great defensive play over at second base by Bryson Stott. And another 1-2-3 inning for Matt Strom as we go to the bottom of the second inning. It's still scoreless at the bank. All right, let me take a very quick step off. I'll be right back. I need to stretch. Ready, here we go. OT, go Birds tonight. Whatever you do, just get it right. I see what you did. You rhymed that there. That's pretty cool. And also, thank you for the subscription. If you guys have also just subscribed to my channel, feel free to shout yourself out because I don't always get the notifications on my YouTube channel. So be sure that you do that. No balls, one strike to Nick Castellanos as we start off the bottom of the second inning. The second pitch, that's just a little bit below the knees. Castellanos has a .333 batting average this season. He has actually had 3 home runs in his last 16 at-bats. The 1-1 pitch. There's a line drive into center field for a base hit. And Kelenic gets over there, and he'll be able to make the throw over to second base as he drew the throw, and Castellanos stays put over at first with a leadoff single, and that's the first hit in the ball game. There we go. Good piece of hitting by Castellanos. And Brandon Marsh now comes up to the plate. He will step into the batter's box now. 3 seconds left on the pitch clock as George Kirby's back out there for a second inning of work, and that ball is going to be skied out to left field. And running in to make the catch for out number 1 is A.J. Pollock. 2 pitches and a single by Castellanos and a fly out to left field by Brandon Marsh. Before I even introduced him, I was just going to give some stats on him. Here's Alec Bohm, who has a 5-game hitting streak and is 5 for 20 in his last 20 at-bats. Bohm with a swing and a miss. There's a 95-mile-per-hour fastball down the middle of the plate. Bohm did have a big hit last night. It was the go-ahead RBI single. That was back in the bottom of the 8th inning. Phillies were down 5-2. They were actually up 2-0 on a Nick Castellanos 2-run home run. And then they trailed 5-2 and then cut it to 5-4 going into the 8th inning. And they were able to get 2 runs. The 0-1 to Bohm. That's fouled back towards the first base dugout. I love looking at the old school uniforms. Even the sweater. The ball's 2 strikes. Kirby gets the signs from Murphy. And the pitch. Just fouled back. Castellanos over at first. 1 out in the bottom of the second. It's a scoreless game. The 0-2 pitch to Bohm. Swing and a miss. And Bohm goes fishing after a fastball that may have just been outside of the strike zone. But there's 2 away in the bottom of the second inning, and that's strikeout number 2 for George Kirby. Cody Clemens will step into the batter's box. He had a home run on Sunday's game. Was 1 of 4 Phillies hitters to go yard. Throw back over to first by Kirby is not in time. And Castellanos goes diving back to the base. I believe that was a little bit weird. Kirby with the signs and the first pitch. Right at the knees for a called strike. Kirby's fastball has been pretty much 92 to 96. Yeah, 1 pitch. That's lined out to right center field. That'll split the gap and go all the way towards the wall. Castellanos rounding second base. The throw over to second base is not in time. He goes over to third. He's actually going to come in to score. And that's an RBI double by Cody Clemens. How about that? Castellanos was running for his life. And the throw into second base to get Clemens was not in time, and also give him a lot of credit because he was hustling. So the Phillies are on the board 1-0 on an RBI double by Cody Clemens. Hit that one really sharply, and Julio Rodriguez did a good job at just getting over to the baseball. He threw a dart over to second base. There's there's Dusty Wathan just waving him home, trying to be aggressive for Nick Castellanos. So an RBI double, and Edmundo Sosa is now up. And the first pitch, a swing and a miss. So the Phillies strike first as they take a 1-0 lead. Clemens still over at second base. Good base running by him and Castellanos. No balls, 1 strike to Sosa, and the pitch. Lay it off. Clemens took a pitch that was down the middle, and he did everything he possibly could with it. Kirby looks back at second, and the 1-1 pitch to Sosa. A dribbler that's fouled off towards the third base side. And Dusty Wathan's going to just run over to it and give it to a fan. Castellanos sitting right next to JT Realmuto, who has the day off. As Garrett Stubbs is behind the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kirby looks back at second, and the 1-2 pitch. A swing and a miss for a strike 3. And Sosa goes down swinging. But the Phillies do get a run, thanks to a RBI double by Cody Clemens. And we go to the top of the third inning. Phillies up 1-0. It's pretty nice. They still haven't updated the score bug. Damn. Again, my name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. If you guys are new to my channel, if you enjoy my content, we also do this for the Sixers games as well. Try to go live for almost every Phillies game, and now we're doing every Sixers game. So if you enjoy my content, be sure you like, be sure you subscribe, and hit the notification bell icon too, so that way you know when I upload. We also have a Discord server. We will be going on, not tonight, but tomorrow morning. We will be having a Phillies series recap pod. I haven't necessarily thought of the name yet. If you guys can actually think of a name for it, of like the podcast title, I'd appreciate that, because I want to go live after every single series and just give my initial thoughts and, give my take, and also hear from you guys. And you can join the Discord server and actually join in on the call whenever I do go live for a post-game show. And your voice will be heard. Ugh. Man. Alrighty, so we go to the top of the third inning. Murphy, Caballero, and Crawford will be due up for the Seattle Mariners. I don't know why this keeps timing out. I have to change that. First pitch. It's taken right at the knees for a called strike. Matt Strahm back out there for his third inning of work. The 0-1 to Murphy. It's a line drive that's fouled down the left field line. So we will not be doing the Phillies game on Monday, because I will be doing the Sixers game, as they will be starting round 2 of the NBA playoffs. The 0-2 pitch. That's lined down the left field line. It's a fair ball. And then over to the baseball's Kyle Schwarber, and getting in with a leadoff double as he goes into second base safely is Tom Murphy. So Castellanos led the bottom of the second inning off for the Phillies with a leadoff single. And you're in the top of the third. Well, Murphy leads things off with a leadoff double for the Mariners. Caballero comes up. He did pinch hit last night, but he struck out against Jose Alvarado in the ninth inning. It was a 10-pitch at-bat. First pitch is bunted down the first base line, and that is foul. Caballero batting .200 this season, only one RBI, but his defense has been pretty good. He's been playing a lot, though, for Dylan Moore, who was on the injured list for the Seattle Mariners. Strom looks back at second, and the 0-1 pitch to Caballero. Just bounced off the glove of Garrett Stubbs, but not too far away for Murphy to go over to third. On deck is J.P. Crawford, who had a grand slam last night and went 3 for 4. He had a single, a double, and a home run. Murphy over at second base for the Mariners, who were 11-13 on the season. The 1-1. That is just a little bit off the plate as it was outside. Strom decided to go with a cutter at 84 miles per hour. Five seconds left on the pitch clock, and the 2-1 pitch by Strom. That's fouled back towards the net behind home plate. See a couple of empty seats behind home plate, but also have to understand that it's school day. Fans are still filing in, though. Defense at a pretty normal depth. The 2-2 pitch to Caballero. It's in the dirt for ball 3. J.P. Crawford does wait on deck. There's nobody out in the top of the third. Murphy's over at second base. He got on with a leadoff double. Phillies lead 1-0 on the RBI double by Cody Clemens. Payoff pitch to Caballero. It's right over the middle of the plate for a called strike 3, and Caballero gets frozen on that pitch. 4 Ks on the day for Matt Strom, who struck out the side in the first inning and gets his first strikeout since then. It was a pretty good pitch, but for Caballero, you're thinking to yourself that you have to be aggressive. First pitch to Crawford. It's fouled back towards the third base dugout. Sometimes, though, as a hitter, you have to play a guessing game. You don't know if the pitch is going to tail in at the very last second and be a slider. You have to make a very quick decision. The 0-1 to Crawford. It's a ground ball back over to Strom as he gets off the mound and just tosses it over towards his left side to the first base bag for out number 2. The runner does go over to third as Murphy is now 90 feet away from home plate. And we'll flip the lineup card. Crawford grounded into a 1-3 putout. And Julio Rodriguez comes up. 1-0 Phillies lead. The first pitch to Julio is just below the knees. A 93-mile-per-hour four-seam fastball. So Rodriguez started off the season very hot. And he's lowered his batting average to .231. The 1-0, way up high for a ball. Matt Strom in his last outing against the Colorado Rockies went 5 1/3 of an inning. He allowed 3 earned runs. He did have 11 strikeouts. Only 1 home run allowed, as the Phillies were shut out 5-0. 2-0 pitch. Line drive into right field, and Castellanos is there to make the catch for out number 3. And so the Phillies will be coming back up to bat. It's 1-0 Phils as the Mariners leave one on the base paths. And the Phillies coming back up to bat as they lead 1-0. Rodriguez lined out to right field. Nice. Ugh. Nice. Yeah, 15 people on here watching. I'd say that's pretty good for a Thursday afternoon game. You know? It's pretty nice. The sun is starting to come out a little bit here in South Jersey. But it's just hiding behind the clouds. Who's due up next now for the Phillies? So it's going to be 9-1-2. Okay. How you guys doing today? Let me know how you guys are doing down below in the comments section. Feel free to interact. Ugh. Bump, 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 bump. Anytime, Larry. Anytime. I hope all is well with you, man, and the fam. Here's Garrett Stubbs, who comes up to the plate in the first pitch. First pitch was a called strike, and second pitch was a foul ball back to the screen. They just came back. So Stubbs hasn't gotten a whole lot of playing time because JT has been doing a very good job behind the plate. The 0-2 pitch is up high and outside for a ball. George Kirby with 29 pitches. He's allowed a run thanks to an RBI double by Cody Clemens back in the bottom of the second inning. It was scored Nick Castellanos. The 1-2 pitch. A swing and a miss to Garrett Stubbs, and that's strikeout number 3 on the day for George Kirby. Scratch that, strikeout number 4. Forgot that he struck out Sosa to end the second inning. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I agree with you. Here's Bryson Stott. The first pitch is taken right at the knee. Is a curveball at 82 miles per hour for a called strike. Stott flew out to left field in his first at-bat. George Kirby winds up in the 0-1 pitch. That's lined out to left center field, and coming in to make the diving catch is A.J. Pollock. The ball just died out there in left field. It was a hot shot, and Pollock just hit a pretty nice catch on the run for out number 2. Those Uncle Charlie's cheesesteaks look really good. I could smell them all the way from South Jersey. Here's Trey Turner, and the first pitch. Oh, it was called a strike, and it looked like it was way off the plate. And Turner did hold his swing. It was like a foot off. The 0-1 pitch. That time it was almost in the same spot, but it was called a ball. It was a little bit lower, though. Turner grounded out to shortstop his last time up. He went 0 for 4 in the first game and 1 for 4 in last night's game. The 1-1, right at the knees for a called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch. There's a ground ball over to third base. Fielded on the hop, throws over to first, as just in time to get Trey Turner for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning by George Kirby, and we go to the top of the 4th. Quick start so far. Phillies up 1-0. All right. I will be right back in 20 seconds. Ready. Here we go. Had to take the sweater off. That's what I had to do. I was starting to get a little bit hot. The hat actually might have to come off too, even though the hat hair looks really bad. I'd rather feel comfy than that. Heard the Pats forfeited all their picks for cheating. My gosh, Larry, come on. You're funny. There's the Philly fanatic. I had to laugh because it was like I was changing the topic on purpose when I didn't mean to do that. We're just starting off the 4th inning. Ty France comes up, and he gets hit by a pitch. It was on the left elbow, and Matt Strahm. Oof. Matt Strahm threw a pitch that was a high heater that ended up hitting the elbow of France. And that is the second base runner that's been issued by Matt Strahm. Here's Suarez, first pitch. Down below the knees for a ball. So Kevin Millwood threw out the first pitch today for the Phillies. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch. There's a ground ball over to shortstop to throw over the second. There's one to throw over to first. Is in time for a 6-4-3 double play. Great play by Trey Turner to Bryson Stott, all the way over to first base to Cody Clemens. And there's 2 gone in the top of the 4th. It was a pretty nice bang-bang play as Suarez was out by a step. And here's Teoscar Hernandez. And Hernandez will pop this one up over to the third base side. Stott stands right next over next to Edmundo Sosa, and that'll do it. For out number 3, we go to the bottom of the 4th. Phillies still up 1-0. All right, so what was I going to say? Oh, yes. So, Kevin Millwood, yes, he threw out the first pitch today. And, well, the reason why is because, well, today is the honor of his no-hitter that he threw at the Vets 20 years ago on this day against the San Francisco Giants. And it's interesting because history, especially in baseball, has a way to just tie itself together. Because think about it like this. All right, so the Phillies, they They played the Seattle Mariners. Their first time that they played them was back in 2003, right? The Phillies are all-time, actually 10-11 against the Mariners. But the first time that they played them, Kevin Millwood was on the bump, and the Phillies lost 4-0. And guess who was pitching on the other side for the Seattle Mariners? Jamie Moyer, another former Philadelphia Philly that ended up winning a World Series with them. He had 8 strikeouts on the day, and he went 7 scoreless innings, only allowed a couple of hits, no walks. And the other interesting thing is that Brett Boone went 3 for 4 that day off of Kevin Millwood, and he ended up hitting a 2-run home run. Boone is the older brother of the Yankees manager Aaron Boone. And their father was obviously Bob Boone. And he played 9 years with the Phillies. He was a catcher. He ended up winning a World Series title on the 1980 team. And he is in the Phillies Wall of Fame, a 4-time All-Star and a 7-time Gold Glove winner. So baseball just has a way of finding full circles. And I think that that's all just kind of interesting to me. Kyle Schwarber will lead things off in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the first pitch, check swing, but they say that he went around. Oh, what's up, Shady? You going to the game tomorrow? The 0-1 pitch. It's down below the knees for a ball. I have seen the game, but I really don't remember it because I was born in 1998. And I didn't really go to too many games at the Vet. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kyle Schwarber. And the pitch, just a little bit inside for ball 2. Who else was on that team for Seattle? They had Mike Cameron. Obviously, they still had Ichiro Suzuki. 2-1. Swing and a miss. I miss Mike Cameron. He was one of my favorite players growing up. He had a lot of power in the bat. He was also really fast in the outfield. Had some pretty good years with Seattle and with Milwaukee. The 2-2. Outside and low for a ball. Got to play with Prince Fielder and Ryan Braun. And Craig Counsell. Blast from the past. Raul Ibanez was not on that team. 3-2 pitch. That was just taken inside and low for a ball. Good job by Schwarber to just take all of that inside, as Kirby did not get the call, and he's not happy with Andy Fletcher behind the plate. You can fact check me on that, Larry, because I am 95% sure that he wasn't on that team. Nick Castellanos comes up, and the first pitch is outside and low for a ball. And if he was, he just didn't play in that first game. Castellanos singled and scored a run on the RBI double by Cody Clemens. The 1-0. Check swing. They don't even appeal, and Fletcher says that he went around. Phillies lead 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the 1-1 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? This time they appeal, and the first base umpire says that he did not offer at the pitch. Had some cool finishes last night for NBA playoffs. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with it or not, but as the 2-1 pitch, it's going to be grounded over to third base. The throw over to second, there's one. The throw over to first is not in time. And, man, I don't even know if whoever was running over to second base was out. It looked like it was a very close play, but in all honesty, Schwarber may have been out by maybe half a step or so. I guess he was out by half a step. Well, it's close, to say the least. So that'll go as a 6-4 fielder's choice. or a 5-4 fielder's choice. Brandon Marsh steps into the batter's box. 1 away. And a runner over at first. And the first pitch by Kirby is a 93-mile-per-hour fastball right at the knees. Brandon Marsh is coming into today. He is the 4th highest batting average in the league at .351. The 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 2. Also has 4 triples. That leads the league. And he also leads the league in OPS with a 1.138 OPS. And he's second in the league in the slugging percentage, right behind Max Muncy. No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch to Marsh. Swing and a miss. And that'll do it for Brandon Marsh. And there's 2 away. Kind of had to catch myself. That was not even a full swing. It was a check swing. But Marsh is retired. There's 2 away. And Alec Bohm will be the next victim for George Kirby. First pitch to Bohm is down low and away. You think that with this type of weather that it's going to rain because it is really cloudy, but that is not the case so far. The 1-0 pitch, that's down low and it's the dirt. I didn't see any sort of rain in the forecast. They just said that it was just supposed to be cloudy. But the clouds just, I don't know, they don't look friendly, if you will. 2 balls, no strikes to Bohm. And the pitch by George Kirby. Bohm swings and misses at the fastball. If you guys haven't done so already, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my play-by-play commentary. We do this for Phillies games, and for right now, we do it for Sixers games as well. 2 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch. Check swing. They appeal over at first base and say that he did not go. On deck is Cody Clemens, who had the RBI double back in the second. Bowman had the go-ahead RBI single back in last night's game. The 3-1 pitch that's fouled back towards the first base side, and then it'll find the seats. Seattle brought the rain with them. But the Phillies had the rain on their parade last night. I try. My dad jokes are good. 3-2 pitch on the inside corner. Called strike 3, and Alec Bohm goes down looking at a curveball that was right at the belt level. And that'll do it as the Phillies leave 1 man on, and we go to the top of the 5th inning. The Phillies still lead 1-0. Good, man. Quick. Excuse me. All right, we're going to take the hat off. Man, that feels a lot better. We're taking the hat off. Yes, they did. They did rain on their parade. Is my hat hair really bad or no? I can't wait to get a haircut. Ooh. I don't know where David is, but I'm not wearing a jersey, but I'm wearing a Chase Utley shirt. I do have a jersey, but I don't feel like I need to wear it yet. I don't have to show that much Phillies pride yet until it's like they have to make me put on the jersey. You know what I'm saying? That's what they have to do. They haven't earned it yet. They haven't earned that right yet. It kind of does. It kind of looks bad. Yeah, I'll have to brush it. Maybe that's what I'll do during the break. All right. Because I can't stand wearing a hat right now. Ugh, lots of yawns. I figured that you were just kidding, but I should brush it a little bit. Make it look a little bit nicer. All right, here we go to the top of the fifth. A.J. Pollock's coming up, and the first pitch is right below the knees for a ball. Matt Strahm, only 42 pitches in 4 innings. 5 seconds left on the pitch clock in the 1-0. That ball is lifted high and deep to left field, but thankfully it hooks foul. Strahm looks back at first, and the 1-1 pitch. There's a high fly ball out to center field. Marsh gets underneath it, and he has enough room to make the catch for the first out. 1 away in the top of the fifth. Last night, the Phillies had everybody in the lineup get a hit except for Jay Cave, who went 0 for 4. He did strike out twice, but everybody else got a hit. That was really good to see. First pitch in this at-bat to Jarred Kelenic. It's taken outside and high for a ball. Lots of talk about Jarred Kelenic over the last couple of years, and finally he has gotten it together. The 1-0 pitch. It's fouled back towards the first base dugout. So as I mentioned before, Kevin Millwood threw out the first pitch for the Phillies today in honor of his no-hitter at the Vet against the San Francisco Giants. It was 20 years ago on this day in history. The 1-1. Down low and outside. Listening at work. Took Mariners under 4.5 runs. Yeah, man, this is what I do. I do this all the time for the Phillies. And for the Sixers. No problem. 2 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch. Inside and high for a ball to Jarred Kelenic. So there's nobody on. 1 out in the top of the fifth. The Phillies lead 1-0 in this series finale, as Kelenic will call for time. Strahm with 48 pitches in 4 1/3 of an inning so far. I also mentioned before that he has a 2.61 ERA at home. 3-1. That's sliced foul down the third base line. And it'll find the seats again. Phillies in their blue and maroon uniforms. The classic uniforms, as I like to call it. 3-2 pitch. There's a high fly ball out to right field, and thankfully Castellanos gets underneath it, and he'll make the catch. Kelenic just missed a home run as he got way underneath that fastball. And there's 2 gone in the top of the fifth. Here's Murphy. And Murphy, who doubled in his last at-bat, comes up to the plate. That was the only hit by the Mariners so far. France did get on, though, with a hit by pitch. The 0-1. Line foul down the third base line, and it will hit the tarp. And it'll make it an 0-2 count now. Tom Murphy batting .111 on the season. Still is looking for his first RBI and his first home run. Strahm gets set, kicks, deals, and the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball back up the middle for a base hit as it goes right through the hole. Marsh gets over to there, and we'll throw it to Bryson Stott. And there's a 2-out single by Tom Murphy. 2 hits for the Mariners, and both of them have come by Murphy so far in this ball game. Jose Caballero is due up at the plate. He struck out back in the third inning. So the Phillies took game one of the series by a score of 5-3. They lost game one of the series 5-3, but then they took game two 6-5. Every time I think of the number 5, I just think about the Phillies. I don't know why. First pitch to Caballero is inside for a ball. I should be really thinking about it as 4 because I still have the 4 Aces shirt. I don't even know if it fits me anymore. 1-0. Well, there's a balk. There's a balk, and Murphy will go over to second base. And I don't even know if I agree with that call, but nonetheless, Murphy is now in scoring position. So it's 1 ball, no strikes. I didn't even see him look back over at second. But now he does. And the 1-0 pitch. That's taken right at the knees for a called strike. A 90-mile-per-hour fastball. So before the pitch was even thrown, Andy Fletcher was like, yep, you just balked. Marlins and Braves are in a rain delay. We'll get to more scores in just a few moments. The 1-1 pitch. That's taken at the knees. A sinker at 89 miles per hour. And there's another called strike to Caballero. Caballero started the first game of the series. Then he came in the pinch hit last night against Jose Alvarado. Put up a very good fight against him. 1-2 pitch. That's fouled back towards the screen. But Caballero did not get aboard, as Alvarado was able to strike him out. That was for the second out of the inning. One ball, 2 strikes. Murphy over at second base in the top of the 5th. 2 outs. And the 1-2 pitch. A swing and a miss. And Matt Strahm will get himself another strikeout. And that'll do it in the top of the 5th inning. No runs, 1 man left. It was Murphy in scoring position. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. The Phillies up 1-0. Ready. Yeah, look, there has to be a line, you know? There just has to be some sort of a fair line of figuring out, okay, if the rule of a balk, I don't know like what it is like word by law, but how I understand a balk is if you step towards home plate and then you take a step back towards the mound, or you make some sort of like a movement towards the base area, whether it's first base, second base, wherever the base runner is. If your goal is to get an advantage, that's how I've always understood it to be a balk. But then you have to kind of like think to yourself, how far does it go? And I don't know. That's a lot easier said than done. But sometimes I think to myself, well, was the pitcher necessarily stepping back over to first base to try to get the runner out? Or did the pitcher even intentionally like take a step towards home plate? Or was that just, just a habit? I don't know. What say you guys? Comment down below if you have any thoughts about that. Any thoughts about the balk rule, and what you guys think about balks and how it should be defined as. I like Taryn Hatcher doing sideline reporting for the Phillies. I think that's pretty cool. Always liked it when Greg Murphy did that. And Tom McCarthy. It's trying to deceive the runner, in quotes, but you're allowed to deceive in other ways. I'll get to that point after the inning. Cody Clemens comes up. The 0-1 pitch. That's lined down the left field line, and it just goes in foul territory. What a catch by that fan. He just barehanded it and just swiped it right away. No balls, 2 strikes. George Kirby still out there on the bump for the Mariners. 57 pitches for him, the 58th pitch coming up. And that's outside and high for a ball. Clemens had the RBI double back in the bottom of the second inning. It would score Nick Castellanos, who led the inning off with a single at that time. The 1-2 pitch to Clemens. High fly ball out to left field, but it's still playable. And making the catch is A.J. Pollock, as he is there on the run. 1 away in the bottom of the 5th. A quick game so far, as we just hit the hour mark about 6 minutes ago. So at the pace of this, we'll be done very early. Let's see. First pitch to Sosa here. Ground ball over to shortstop. Crawford fields on the hop, throws over to first in plenty of time for out number 2. And Sosa is retired. So Clemens just flew out to left field, and Sosa grounded out to shortstop. 2 away. And here's Garrett Stubbs, who's batting 9th today. Stubbs will ground this one over to second base. The throw over to first is in plenty of time for out number 3. 1, 2, 3 go the Phillies. Nice play by Caballero to take a couple of side steps over towards his right side. And he is able to put out Garrett Stubbs, and that'll do it as we go to the top of the 6th. The Phillies still lead 1-0. Right. Stepping off but not throwing over is deceptive but allowed. Quality starts. Great pitching on the mound today. Late inning Julio Dinger on the way. Gioletta. Hey, I feel like he's been either like swinging for the fences or he's just been striking out. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just in that little funk, like kind of like Kyle Schwarber, where he's just all power or nothing. So, if he gets on, I'm just saying, you're probably right about the home run type of a thing. Bucs need to stay in the game with more base stealing now. I agree with you, Tony. I totally agree with you. I feel like that because if there's going to be more people that are stealing bases, like look around Acuna Jr. now. Like he has like what? He has 13 stolen bases and he leads the league in that category already. So if base runners are going to be stealing, like you're going to have to keep the rule. The problem is that you just have to define it better. You know, and some of these baseball rules, like they're not necessarily like written word by word or translated word by word, if that makes any sort of sense. That's in an understandable language, if you will. There's no fine line. So, it's a strategy. And I was never really like a big fan of getting rid of the shifts because I like strategy, you know? And when you do that, you're getting rid of strategy, but you're also, at the same time, I understand you're getting more offense, which I get. But, like, imagine if Ryan Howard didn't have a shift. Like, he would probably be a Hall of Famer. I'm not even kidding when I say that. It's crazy. 1 pitch to J.P. Crawford as he comes up. They just came back. It's skied out to right field. Castellanos on the run. And he makes the catch as he takes about 5 steps towards home plate. And there's 1 gone in the top of the 6th. A quick out by Matt Strom here. And J.P. Crawford is retired. Sir Anthony Dominguez is warming up in the bullpen for the Phillies. Rodriguez comes up. He's 0 for 2 today. He has struck out and he's also lined out as well. Now Stubbs wants to head on over to the mound for a mound visit here just to talk things over with Matt Strom. Excuse me. An involuntary twitch is a balk, but literally faking a throw over isn't. That part I don't understand either. I'm just telling you, like, there has to be some sort of distinct line, you know? And Rob Thompson's going to go out there, and I guess something was off with Matt Strahm, and this is a little weird. I wonder what's going on. I wonder if the broadcast even knows what's going on. He only has 60 pitches so far. I think he's going to be done. Keep your eye out on that. 60 pitches for Strahm. And that's going to do it. So Matt Strahm's day is done. And Sir Anthony is going to come in there to pitch. That looked like it was it didn't look like it was subtle. It just looked like it was, even though like they were showing Sir Anthony Dominguez warming up in the bullpen, it looked like it was like not really called for, if that makes sense. I don't know. Something must be wrong. Maybe he has a blister or something. I have no idea. I will say, though, that Taijuan Walker did lose a little bit of his command yesterday, obviously, and there were some problems with that he specifically told Rob Thompson about, but he got examined by the doctors today, and he's fine. So he's okay, and he should be good to go for his next start. That was according to Rob Thompson. So I understand he was good today, but probably got injured or something. I can't make any sort of assumptions until I specifically know what just happened. Okay. If you guys are new to my channel, I want to just remind you guys, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and hit the bell icon too, so that way you know when I upload and when I go live for a Phillies cast. The goal is to get to 280 subscribers by the end of today, and I think that we can certainly reach that goal. We've been coming on here doing Phillies games and Sixers games as well, and we go on for every single Sixers post-game show and for every Phillies post-series show. That's what we're going to call it now. 4 months. We've been going at it really strong, and the fact that we've already grown the community to this level is pretty cool. It is. Pretty good stuff. If you're also tuning in on Facebook Live or on Twitch or on any of the other streaming platforms, make sure that you leave me a review. 18 people on here. Alrighty, here we go. Dominguez with the check swing by Julio Rodriguez. It was a foul ball. And it just got a piece of the bat. So let's see if they are saying anything. Let's no balls, one strike. And the next pitch, which is up high and outside for a ball. So Sir Anthony Dominguez comes in. He has a 9.2 ERA. He's allowed 13 hits on the season, 6 walks, and 10 strikeouts. The 1-1. There's a little dribbler back over to second base, and it is going to be caught by Bryson Stott. It was really a cue shot. And there's 2 gone. 5. All right, so let's see if they have any sort of updates on Matt Strahm. He's back in the dugout. He's high-fiving his teammate, but maybe he felt a little discomfort. I don't know. He had a good outing. Alrighty, so Ty France is coming up. It's a 1-0 count, and the pitch to France. Swing and a miss. So Sir Anthony has been certainly doing a much better job as of lately. He really has. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 seconds left on the pitch clock, and the 1-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. And France goes chasing after the high heater at 98 miles per hour. On this cloudy afternoon in Philadelphia, as we wrap up this series between the Phillies and the Seattle Mariners. The 1-2. Fouled back again. And France went down on one knee and just gets back up and is just going to walk it off. It was a little bit awkward. Trying to see if they have gave any sort of updates on Matt Strahm. He's in the dugout and it was I-5 his teammates. And he seemed to be just fine. One ball, 2 strikes in the pitch. It's lifted out to center field. Marsh on the run goes over to his right side, and they'll make the catch for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning by the Phillies pitching staff. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. The Phillies lead 1-0. Okay. Nice. Quick and easy. I like that. I like that a lot. I think he's fine. I just think that it was just so weird to just see him just suddenly come out of the game. Like, it wasn't... Rob Thompson didn't even come out there at first. Like, when you understand, like, what happened, or when I try to explain what happened, is that Rodriguez was just ready to hit. And, you know... He was just ready to hit, and then all of a sudden, like, right before he's about to throw the first pitch, Stubbs called for time, and it looked like it was just routine, you know, with just him and Strahm out there, and then he signaled for Rob Thompson to come out there. So I guess that he felt like he had to be done, you know, but it wasn't expected. My nose is itchy. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, Larry. Means a lot. If you guys also haven't joined the Discord server, make sure that you do that. The link to that is down below in the description area, whether you're watching me on any of my platforms or tuning into me. Ugh. Man. Low-scoring game. Both teams only have 2 hits, but the Phillies have cashed in. Mariners have not. Bottom of the 6th inning. Here's Bryson Stott. George Kirby back out there for his 6th inning of work. And Stott will lead things off here. The 0-1 pitch. Grounded foul down the first base dugout. He's batting .336 on the season. 63 pitches by Kirby so far. No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch to Stott. There's a ground ball over to shortstop. Tried to backhand it is J.P. Crawford, and he's not going to be able to throw it over to first base. He bobbled it, and Bryson Stott gets in there. I believe that they're going to rule it as an infield single. It was knocked down by Crawford. Nope, they're going to probably rule it as an error, I guess. Because Crawford actually really should have had it, to be honest with you, but it just hit the bottom part of the glove. And Trey Turner comes up. Connor Brogdon warming up in the bullpen. So that's going to go down as an error. And Turner will take the first pitch. It was a check swing, but he didn't make any sort of contact regardless, as the pitch was right down the middle. It's a 0-1 count. So Stock gets aboard with an E6. That's the third error by Crawford this season. There's a little dribbler over to Crawford. The throw over to second. There's one. The throw over to first is not in time, and Turner beats it out by half a step. So that's a 6-4 fielder's choice. You know, the one thing about the Phillies is that it is really hard to strike them out. And, well, coming into today, Schwarber and Turner have led the team in strikeouts with 28. But other than that, Bryson Stock grinds out at bats. Brandon Marsh has been doing really well. JT Realmuto, he's been making some contact with pitches, as Schwarber will ground that one right into the hole of right field, and going over to third base is Trey Turner, and Turner is able to get in there safely. And that'll put runners at the corners. A hot shot by Kyle Schwarber as it just got by the first baseman, Ty France. And it went all the way out into right field. And there's a perfect explanation, or a perfect example of, you know, how the shift, if there was a shift, that would make things a lot different. Schwarber over at first, Turner over at third. Castellanos comes up with 1 out, and Castellanos grounds that one over to second base as the second baseman takes it over to the bag, and it is a 5-3 double play as he throws over to first base. So a rally killer for the Phillies, but we go to the top of the 7th inning as they still lead 1-0. A 5-3 double play. Huh. 4-3. All right. All right, let me take a very quick step off. I'll be right back in just a few moments. Ready. Here we go. To the top of the 7th inning. I'm Jason Joseph. This is Play by Play with JJ. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell icon too, so that way you know when I upload. Goal is to get to 280 by the end of today. If you just subscribe to my channel, don't forget, if you'd certainly like to, make sure that you shout yourself out. I don't always get the YouTube notifications. This one I actually did. George Hill. Not the basketball player George Hill. But George, thanks for subscribing to my channel. Even if it is like the basketball player George Hill, that'd be like really, really cool. Used to play for my team, the Sixers. They'll be on Monday. I'm excited. I'll be calling that game. We won't be calling the Phillies game that day because Sixers playoffs takes priority. All right, here is Suarez, who comes up. He grounded into a double play himself his last time up. And the second pitch is up high and outside for ball 2. So Connor Brogdon is on the bump for the Phils. 2-0 pitch, outside and low for ball 3. So Strom's day was done. Dominguez came in for 2/3 of an inning, and most likely for the 8th inning, Gregory Soto will be coming in as the setup man. The 3-0, right at the knees for a called strike. It was a 93-mile-per-hour four-seam fastball. Brogdon with the 3-1 pitch. That's taken right at the knees on the outside corner for a called strike. Nobody on. Nobody out to start off the top of the 7th inning. It's a full count to Suarez. Brogdon winds up in the payoff pitch. Ground ball fouled down the third base line. Brogdon has gone 11 innings this season. He's 1-0. And this is his 11th appearance. 5 seconds left on the pitch clock. And the payoff pitch to Suarez. High fly ball out to right field. It's going back to the warning track, to the wall, and Castellanos just has enough room to make the catch right in front of the her sign. And there's one gone in the top of the 7th inning. It just stayed in the yard. Well, that certainly helps for the Phillies. And Brogdon is able to retire the first batter to start off the top of the 7th inning. And Teoscar Hernandez is due up next. And the first pitch that he sees is a fastball right down Broad Street for a called strike. Connor also has only allowed 3 walks this season, and he has 11 strikeouts. The 0-1 swing and a miss on a changeup that was below the knees and way outside. 5 seconds left on the pitch clock. And the 0-2 pitch to Hernandez in the dirt and outside as well. Teoscar decides not to bite. Hernandez had a big 2-run home run in the first game on Tuesday night. And that would put the Mariners up 4-1 at that time. The 1-2 pitch. It's just fouled off on the end of the bat as it bounced off of home plate and hit Teoscar's left ankle. Nobody on in the top of the 7th inning. The Phillies lead 1-0 on the RBI double by Cody Clemens, which was back in the second. The 1-2 pitch to Hernandez. Swing and a miss. And Hernandez goes down fishing after the cutter. 2 gone in the top of the 7th. It was a cutter at 87 miles per hour, and it looked like it was going to be a little bit high, and he could not catch up to it. It's the first time today that Teoscar has struck out. Next victim, well, we have a pinch hitter as Tommy La Stella, the journeyman himself, is coming in to pinch hit for A.J. Pollock. And we have a timeout called on the mound as Garrett Stubbs wants to rally the troops, and Caleb Cotham is out there as well to talk things over with Brogdon. Mariners decided to go with a lefty. I tell you, the Mariners pitching staff as a whole, even though Robbie Ray, unfortunately, is going to miss the rest of the season due to his injury, they still have a really good starting rotation with Luis Castillo, George Kirby, Marco Gonzalez. These guys have been pitching really good. Penn Murphy's also been really good out of the bullpen for them. Everybody goes back to their spots, and their closer, obviously, Paul Sewald, has been lights out. First pitch to La Stella. It's fouled back towards the screen. La Stella thought about chasing after the fastball, but could not do it. The 0-1. Outside and low by Connor Brogdon. It was a changeup that was at 82 miles per hour. Phillies in their old classic pinstripe uniforms. the blue and maroon. Two balls, one strike on the pitch that was inside and low again. Nobody on. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. The Phillies lead 1-0 in the series finale against the Mariners. They head to Houston tomorrow night and will take on the Astros. The 2-1 pitch on the inside corner, called strike 2. A changeup that just tailed back into the strike zone, and it looked like it was going inside, but just had enough velocity on it. The 2-2 delivery. There's a line drive into left center field. It drops in for a base hit. Schwarber gets over to it, and now we'll make the throw over to the cutoff man. And Tommy La Stella, good piece of hitting because the pitch was way up high and outside, and he just, even though it was at the eye level, made some decent contact with it and took it the other way. And now Rob Thompson is going to pull the plug with Connor Brogdon, as Brogdon's day is done, and Soto will most likely be coming in as the new pitcher for the Phils. We have a pitching change, and we'll be right back in just a few moments. Phillies up 1-0 with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning and a runner over at first. All right, why is the score not updated now? There we go. Apologize. I do apologize about that. All right, so Dominguez, Brogdon. And now we got Soto, I believe, coming in. Let's turn this on. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys are brand new. We cover Phillies games and Sixers games right now. We also do Patriots games, and we do Flyers podcast as well. We will have a podcast sometime probably in June, once things die down between the Sixers and the Phillies. Eastern Conference semifinals. That'll be on Monday night. The Sixers will most likely take on the Boston Celtics. We will be live for Game 1. And hopefully they'll be able to get it done. Hopefully Joel Embiid is going to be all right. It sounds like he should be good to go. And got to give a big shout out to Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks for buying this team some time to just get healthy. If Boston did win on Tuesday, then they would actually have to play tomorrow. That's when they would start this. That's when they would have started the series. But doesn't matter if it goes to a game 6 or if it ends in a game 6 or if it goes to a game 7. The game is going to be on Monday regardless. Here's Gregory Soto as he comes in for the Phillies. So Brogdon went 2/3 of an inning, allowed a hit, and Soto comes in. So Jared Kelenic comes up into the batter's box. The hot hitter for the Mariners. Go-ahead run up at the plate, and the first pitch, it's in the dirt and down low for a ball. Kelenic is hitting .280 and has 2 home runs and 4 RBI this season when hitting in the 8th inning, or the 7th inning, I should say, or later. Soto gets the pitch, and they appeal over at first base, or at third base, I should say, and it's no swing according to Ryan Wills, as the pitch was down low. Fans have been pretty quiet here today. 2-0 pitch. That's grounded foul towards the first base dugout. But it is a school day. It's also a little bit chilly. A lot of people are out there in their sweaters and sweatshirts and windbreakers. The 2-1 pitch to Kelenic. Way up high for a ball. Good job by Stubbs to change his position and get into a standing position. Murphy waits on deck. Over at first base is Tommy La Stella. And Kelenic does call for time. 3 balls, 1 strike. And the Phillies try to get out of this inning with ease. Kelenic steps into the batter's box. 14 seconds left on the pitch clock at the 3-1 pitch. Right at the knees on the outside corner, a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. And it's a full count. Stubbs was signaling and making some body language over towards the infield. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Grounded foul down the first base line. And Listella's going to have to go back over to first. He was on the run. Gregory Soto this season, he's went 9 1/3 of an inning. He has only allowed 4 earned runs, and he has 11 strikeouts. The payoff pitch, outside and high for ball 4. And that'll move Listella over to second base. So a 2-out single by Tommy Listella, as he was able to get a hit off of Connor Brogdon, and now Soto comes in and he issues a walk. Good at bat, though, by Kelenic. And now Tom Murphy comes up, and he has 2 of the 3 hits today for the Seattle Mariners. He's the backup catcher as he's in for Cal Raleigh. Got the start today. First pitch, fouled back towards the net behind home plate. Soto has pitched in 11 games this season coming into today. He is 1-2 on the season, but he has 4 holds. The 0-1 pitch, that's lined out to right field. Castellanos comes sliding in, and he makes the catch for out number 3. That ball was hit sharply, and Castellanos showing off the defense. And we go to the bottom of the 7th inning of the stretch time in Philadelphia. Phillies were able to get out of a very big jam, and it started off with the defense by Nick Castellanos. Bro, his defense is underrated. Oh, Will. Oh, man. Are you a Mariners fan? I'm sorry about that. But also, that was a hot shot hit right over to him. Made a good play. Strom out after 60 pitches. Brogdon only goes 2/3 of an inning. Should Thompson be... Nick is a good defender, only if he's running in. I agree with that. We got you in the first game. You did. And you still might get us here. I mean, there's still 6 more outs. I mean, there's 9 outs for us, but you guys still have 6 outs left. So, and it's one swing of the bat. We have a different ball game. So, I don't know. How many people we have on here? We have 16 people. Pretty cool. Stepping off. Oh, wait. Nope. I think we have more people on here. Mariners aren't clutch like that. Yeah, not this season so far. But, I don't know, man. Nick is a good defender only if he's running. And if there's also, like, something bad that happens. Because timing with Nick Castellanos, we all know, is perfect. Like, it's just how it is. Alrighty. It is stretch time at the bank. Kevin Millwood threw out the first pitch today for the Phillies in honor of his no-hitter that he threw 20 years ago at the Vet against the San Francisco Giants. It was pretty nice to see that. I mentioned this before, but for those of you that are just tuning in, first time that the Phillies actually played the Mariners was back in 2003, and Kevin Millwood actually got the loss. Had to face Jamie Moyer that day, who had 8 strikeouts in 7 innings. The 1-0 pitch to Brandon Marsh as we start off the bottom of the 7th, and George Kirby is still out there on the bump. 1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch was fouled back. Kirby gets set. Gets the signs from Murphy. And the pitch is in the dirt. Kirby and Murphy. That rhymes. Two balls, 1 strike. Kirby only threw 7 pitches in the 6th and 6th in the 5th. Ground ball over to second base, and the throw over to first by Caballero is in plenty of time, and Marsh is retired to start off the bottom of the 7th. That play by Nick Castellanos, man, good read on the play. He was running very hard and made a nice sliding catch to get the final out, and that was a game saver, potentially. Albone comes up. Phillies lead 1-0 thanks to an RBI double by Cody Clemens back in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Oh my gosh, really, Jason? Boma struck out twice today, but he had the go-ahead RBI single back in last night's game, and the Phillies came back to win by a score of 6-5. The 0-1 pitch. That's on the outside corner for a called strike. It was also the game-winning RBI. It was on the outside corner, I should mention. I don't know if I did that. But it's no balls, 2 strikes regardless. Nobody on, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. A very quick game so far. 74 pitches by George Kirby, and he's only thrown 20 balls. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt, and trying to backhand that one was Tom Murphy behind the plate, but he could not do it. What are the games that we got going on today? We'll get to that in just a little bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bohm. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Kirby gets himself another strikeout as Bohm has a hat trick of strikeouts. That is 7 strikeouts on the afternoon for George Kirby. He's been very dominant on the bump. 2 away in the bottom of the 7th, and there's nobody on base. Cody Clemens was one of the only players that was able to get to him, and Clemens will ground this one foul as it'll go over towards the gate by first base. Braves taking on the Atlanta Braves. It's scoreless in the 4th inning. The 0-1 pitch. That's going to be skied out to left field. Pollock goes over to his left, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So we go to the top of the 8th inning. Another 1-2-3 inning, and the Phillies are up 1-0. Let's see. What else do we got going on? The Cubs are up 2-1 against the Padres. That's in the bottom of the 2nd, so that just got started. The only final score that we have is that the Pirates and the Dodgers game, well, the Pirates won 6-2. The game started, I believe, at 12 o'clock. If you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to like. Don't forget to do a subscribe if you enjoy my Phillies play-by-play commentary. We do this for almost every single Phillies game. Try to get on as much as possible, except when the Sixers are playing, because that's what we also do right now. We do Sixers playoffs. It's been a very busy time between doing both of those things. We will be going on for a podcast tomorrow morning. I will not be able to do it tonight because I'm actually going out to dinner with my family, and then I got invited to go to the Link tonight for the NFL draft. So I am going to go over there and spend some time with some friends and talk to some people too. That would be really cool. But yeah, we'll be back on tomorrow evening or tomorrow morning for the Phillies series wrap-up podcast against the Seattle Mariners, and then we'll be on live for doing another play-by-play game for the Phillies tomorrow night as they take on the Astros. So if you enjoy my content, and if you're interested in keeping up with everything, don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe, man. We started off this channel 4 months ago, and we have 277 people that have been on board and that have joined the JJ family. So we're very welcoming and very friendly over here. Try to keep it family-like, regardless of who you root for. Man, that bike looks really cool. How much is that worth? I can't even imagine that. Yeah, I think that the Phillies are going to win this game. But I don't know. Jose Caballero comes up as we start off the top of the 8th. Gregory Soto back out there for really his 2/3 of an inning of work. He pitched a third and allowed a walk, but also was able to get Murphy the line out to right field. 2 balls, no strikes to Caballero. You got to think to yourself, if Caballero is able to get on with a walk here, that's it's not really going to be a good sign. Caballero called for time. It's 8-9 and 1 coming up for the Seattle Mariners in this top of the 8th inning. And a pitch clock violation was called against Gregory Soto. So it's 3 balls, no strikes. And the pitch. Inside and low for ball 4. And there's a leadoff walk to start off the top of the 8th. Warming up in the bullpen is Luis Ortiz, who pitched in yesterday's game and did a pretty good job. This family's like a mafia family. Keep your teammates close. Keep your opponents close. It's funny when you put it like that. It is, man. All right, so Caballero gets on with the leadoff walk in the 8th inning. And here's J.P. Crawford. He's 0 for 2 today. He grounded out and also flew out as well. We got a runner over at first. That's Caballero. Time was called on the mound, and everybody goes back to their spots as Andy Fletcher breaks up the conversation. It's so funny, but like it kind of is. I didn't think about it from that perspective. Here's J.P. Crawford. He went 3 for 4 last night. And the first pitch is way up high and inside, and Soto just lost his command on that pitch, and thankfully it did not hit him. 1 ball, no strikes. A runner over at first and the pitch. Right at the knees on the inside corner for a called strike. Crawford is 0 for 5 in his career versus Gregory Soto. He has also struck out twice in 2 of those 5 meetings. On 1 pitch. Throw back over to first. It's just bounced off of the glove of Cody Clemens, but thankfully it didn't get away. And to be honest with you, Caballero wasn't even paying attention and was just talking things over to the first base coach. Don't know if he would have even made it over to second base, but he took a big lead off over at first, and Soto threw it back over to the bag. Clemens bobbled it, and he couldn't even find the ball. Nonetheless, the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. The tag over to second. There's 1, and the throw over to first is in time. That's a 6-3 double play. So Turner got the ground ball. He tagged the bag and got the runner out at second, Caballero, and threw it over to first base to get Crawford out. Big play for the Phillies, not the Sixers. Wrong team. Here's Julio Rodriguez. And Soto just dropped the ball as it was thrown back to him by Stubbs. Rodriguez is 0 for 3 today. He's lined out twice, and he struck out as well. The 0-1. Outside and low for a ball. That was huge. Thankfully Clemens found the baseball. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss on a pitch that was in the dirt. It was very bizarre because I don't know if Caballero would have went on that play, but he was just so distracted talking to the first base coach. He was taking a huge lead off at first, got back in there safely. Wasn't the best throw by Gregory Soto to try to pick him off. And Cody Clemens is looking for the baseball, asking for the gods, where did it go? 1 ball, 2 strikes. Time was called by Rodriguez, and now he's back in the batter's box. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt and down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ty France waits on deck. Nobody on. 2 outs on the 6-3 double play. Grounded by J.P. Crawford. The 2-2 pitch. On the inside corner, called strike 3. And Rodriguez goes looking at the slider for out number 3. And the Phillies get themselves out of another jam. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Phillies lead 1-0. Whew, that pitch was filthy. But I'll be honest with you, it looked like it was a little bit inside. I have to be honest, but Andy Fletcher has been pretty consistent behind the plate, so, it hasn't been one-sided. We're 2 away from reaching our goal. If you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. I just appreciate you doing this and doing a very good job. I appreciate it, man. This is what we do all the time. We do it for Phillies games and for Sixers games as of right now. Keeps us busy. We've been going at it for about 4 months. I graduated from Rowan University. I went to school for sports communication and media, and I graduated last year. I actually called games for the Wilmington Blue Rocks, who were the high A affiliate of the Washington Nationals. I did that for 2 years. I did it for our radio station at school. And I also called games for the Delaware Bluecoats, who were the NBA G League affiliate of the Philadelphia 76ers. And this is my passion. I always tell people the story. For some people, it's probably getting a little bit old, but we got to keep the story going because we're having more people join our family. So, and we want to include everybody. So I interned at NFL Films this season, in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And while I was doing that, I loved the internship, but I missed calling games. So I wanted to make sure that I got as many reps as possible, as the great Scott Fransky told me. And, I just wanted to try to come on and just make the most out of opportunities. I emailed a lot of people, reached out to people, and I said, you know what, if I'm not getting these opportunities, I got to make them for myself. You know what I'm saying? So, Isaac, what's up, man? Thanks for coming on. Bottom of the 8th inning. George Kirby is going back out there for his 8th inning of work. He only has 78 pitches. He's allowed 3 hits. 2 of them were in the 2nd inning. He also has 7 strikeouts and has only surrendered a walk. 1 walk. Edmundo Sosa comes up, and the first pitch is swung on and missed for a called strike. Swung on and missed for a strike. Sosa's 0 for 2 today. He's struck out and also grounded out as well. The 0-1. That's fouled back off of the left kneecap of Edmundo Sosa. If there's any traffic on the base paths, Matt Brash is warming up in the bullpen. No balls, 2 strikes to Sosa. The 0-2 delivery by Kirby. Outside and low for a ball. 59 strikes, 22 balls by Kirby. George Kirby. He has been wheeling and dealing for the Seattle Mariners. The 1-2. That's tapped foul down the first base line. Craig Kimbrell is warming up in the bullpen, and most likely, because Alvarado was used yesterday, is going out there for the 9th inning. How about the fan making that catch? He bobbled it 3 times, but was able to just get over to it. 1-2 pitch. That's skied down the first base line, and it will find the seats into the 4th row. That is a catch, according to John Kruk. Big 1-2 pitch coming up. And here it is. Another foul ball by Sosa as he stays alive and tried to get the curveball. Lots of clouds in the sky, but the sun is starting to come out a little bit on this afternoon. The 1-2. There's a ground ball over to third base. It's gobbled up, and the throw over to first is in plenty of time by Eugenio Suarez. 1 gone in the bottom of the 8th. Have I ever caught a foul ball? I have not, but I've had people give me some foul balls. First pitch to Garrett Stubbs. That's inside and low for a ball. Have you ever caught a foul ball? All right, so who just got out? That was Edmundo Sosa. He grounded out over to third. Stubbs is up, and the 1-0. There's a ground ball over to first base. The underhanded throw over to Kirby is in plenty of time as Kirby will tag the bag, and Ty France just made an underhanded throw as soon as he fielded the ground ball. And there's 2 away. Do you remember who hit it? Nobody on, 2 outs, and we'll flip the lineup card again. Bryson Stott has reached base once today. It was on an error back in the 6th inning. Kirby gets set and fires the first pitch. A high fly ball out to right field. This one actually could drop in for a hit, and it does. I'm laughing because Jared Kelenic thought that it was like, I don't know if he was acting or not, but he was trying to act like he actually caught it. But it certainly bounced right in front of him. Sort of like a flop, like in basketball, like when sometimes you're trying to sell a call and you're not able to get it, and he was arguing with the second base umpire, Las Diaz. So Trey Turner's up. Stott's over at first. The throw over to second base to try to get Stott is just in time. Good throw by Tom Murphy, and the Phillies are going to be done in this 8th inning, but everybody's holding their spots here. Rob Thompson's going to see if he should review this, and that should do it as we go to the top of the 9th. So Bryson Stott gets caught stealing, and we go to the top of the 9th inning. The Phillies up 1-0. Mariners have their last chance. There we go. Will Suarez ever get on base? I don't know, man. Thanks for coming on here, though, Just Dave. My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed my play-by-play commentary. Yeah, man. Top of the 9th inning coming right up. The goal was to reach 280 by the end of today. We've been going at it for 4 months, and I think we can get to 280. We just need one more, man. One more. So Stubbs grounded out to first. Stott got on with a single and then got caught stealing. Okay. Kimbrel will come in for the 9th inning. Alvarado pitched yesterday, and this will be the last chance for the Mariners as 2, 3, and 4 are coming up. Suarez might have a chance to get on base. You just might. I'm just saying. I'm not telling you that he will. I'm not trying to jinx my team, but, as a fan inside, but he might. Never know. And also, if you just subscribe to my channel, don't forget, if you'd like to, make sure that you give yourself a shout out, because I don't always get the notifications on here. And I would like to do that. Just Davey just subscribed 11 minutes ago. So thank you, man. I appreciate it. Top of the 9th we go. Can the Phillies try to take the series and complete the shutout here on this Thursday afternoon and head into Houston, taking their last 3 series that they've played in? Excuse me. How many people we got on here? Matt Strahm was absolutely incredible today, and we'll talk a little bit more about it right after the game is done. It won't be that long, though, hopefully. It's 3:05. What time did the game start? It started at 1:05. This is just 2 hours. Huh. Craig Kimbrel is in to pitch the 9th inning. The first victim he'll have to face is Ty France, who struck out back in the first inning, and he's 0 for 2 today. So France will lead things off here. Craig Kimbrel on the bump for the Phils. He's gone 9 innings this season. The first pitch to France. Right at the knees on the outside corner for a called strike. Kimbrel's 1-0. He's had 2 save opportunities, and he's 2 for 2 in those opportunities with a 4.5 ERA. Kimbrel with the 0-1 pitch. That's just fouled back towards the first base side, and France was able to just get a piece of it. France batting .260 on the season, 1 home run, and it's an 0-2 count. Kimbrel gets set and fires the 0-2 pitch. It was a ball, but what did they rule that as a pitch clock violation or something? It was a ball regardless, but the umpire, the home plate umpire, called for time and had like a little signal up, but that was a little confusing. But it's a 1-2 count. France in the batter's box. 3 seconds left on the pitch clock. And the 1-2 pitch to France. Fouled back towards the first base dugout. Just actually went over the dugout. Phillies got an RBI double back in the second inning by Cody Clemens. And that's been the difference of this game. 2 seconds left on the pitch clock. The 1-2 pitch. Another foul ball by France as he stays alive. A knuckle curve at 86 miles per hour. That was low and away. And the 5th pitch of the at-bat coming right up here. Five seconds left on the pitch clock. And the 1-2 pitch to France. On the outside corner. Called strike 3. And there's one away in the top of the 9th. A fastball at 94 miles per hour that had a lot of good movement on it. And Kimbrel was able to get the first batter retired. France was just caught freezing on that pitch, and Andy Fletcher was able to ring him up. And there's one away in the top of the 9th. Suarez comes up, and he'll take the first pitch low and away for a ball. A 95-mile-per-hour four-seam fastball by Craig Kimbrel. So back-to-back strikeouts by Phillies pitching. The 1-0 pitch. That's fouled off towards the screen. Thanks, man. I seriously appreciate it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on in the top of the 9th. The Phillies lead 1-0. 1 out. And the 1-1 pitch. A ground ball over to third base. Sosa gets over to it, throws over to first in plenty of time, and there's 2 gone. Sosa went over towards his left side and was able to field it cleanly. And that'll lead things up to Teoscar Hernandez, who's 0 for 3 today. He had a big 2-run home run in the first game of this series. And he comes up to the plate. He's actually 0 for 6 versus Craig Kimbrel, lifetime-wise, and has struck out in 4 of those 6 meetings. The first pitch to Teoscar. He takes it right at the knees for a called strike. A knuckle curve at 84 miles per hour. There was one today, my guy. No balls, 1 strike. And the pitch to Hernandez, right below the knees. It was another knuckle curve, but it hit the dirt. 85 miles per hour on the gun. I feel you. Teoscar Hernandez. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that is fouled off of the foot of Teoscar Hernandez. And now the Phillies are 1 strike away from taking the series. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Teoscar. Fans on their feet on this cloudy Thursday afternoon. Phillies head over to Houston, and they play a 3-game series starting tomorrow night. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Craig Kimbrel is able to get the save. The Phillies shut out the Mariners by a score of 1-0, and they take the series as they head into Houston tomorrow night. Kimbrel was lights out at the end, and the Phillies are able to get a victory. And it was just the RBI double by Cody Clemens back in the second inning, and that was what made the difference. But give the Phillies pitching staff a lot of credit, as Matt Strahm was sensational, and the bullpen over the last 2 games hasn't allowed a run. Kimbrel got the job done today. Matt Strahm went 5 1/3, only allowed 2 hits, and the bullpen took things over from that point on and went 3 2/3 of an inning and only allowed 1 hit and had 4 strikeouts. A big win by the Phillies. It wasn't the prettiest looking on the offensive side of the plate, but the pitching stepped up, and they got the Phillies the win. I'm Jason Joseph. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, in case you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon too, so that way you know when I either go live or when I upload, not just for a Phillies game, but we also do the Sixers as well during this time of year. We'll be on Monday night for the Sixers game, but we'll be on tomorrow night for the Phillies game as they take on the Houston Astros, and we'll also have a post-series podcast tomorrow morning. So if you want to join the Discord server, that's in the description down below. I'll be taking your calls. You can give me your thoughts on this series. But the Phillies did their job. The Phillies really did their job. And I'm proud of the way that they battled through all the adversity that they had to deal with, not just today, but yesterday as well. All right, so long. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you all so much for coming on here. And no problem, Roblox. I appreciate you. All right, Lila Tov, and have yourselves a great day. Peace.